MyT This is the MyT Sports Podcast. Good evening and welcome back to another edition of the MyT Sports Podcast. I am your host, the one and only talent, El Idolo Deportivo Taylor. It is another En Fuego day in the hottest city in the world. We're coming at you live from Sharkeys in the heartbeat of South Florida. It is January 15th. It's Martin Luther King Day. Yo, we got good weather today, too. Like, it's surprisingly good weather. I don't know where you at with your weather, but we had highs of 86. They said we was going to have, like, lows of 72. We had a couple of sprinkles of shower. That shit was over with dumb early. Like, so we've been breezing all day, just a nice, cool breeze. So I'm like sundresses still come out. Yo, shorts with no underwear still comes out. You can still feel a good winter's breeze up your... Let's get ready to start this show. You know what I mean? Because we got a big show for you guys today. Because we ain't seen you in a while. We ain't been here in a while. I'm not going to say this is the first show of the new year, but it's very damn close. It is very damn close to the first show of the new year. This may only be our second show of the new year. So that means we got a lot of birthday shout outs to do, because when we did our first show, we did no birthday shout outs. So you know what we actually like to do here? We got a long list. We're going to make sure we shout them all out. We give a little birthday shout out to everybody. And when I say everybody, I'm talking about all 15 days of this year. We will give it a birthday shout out to at the beginning of the show. So if you want you want to hear your birthday shout outs, you and know anybody had a birthday between the 1st and the 15th, you start tagging them, you start adding them, right? You make sure they get into the show, you like it, you share it, you comment, and you put them on so that you can hear your birthday shout outs too. It happens early, it doesn't happen again. So you come here like an hour into the show and be like, hey, it was Billy's birthday. Fuck Billy. Sorry. We're going to catch him next year. I appreciate you, though. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you here for the good time. And boy, is it a good time. Like, you understand, the cat's out the bag. Because you know, when we come here on Mondays, right, we ain't just going to talk sports. We going to go heavy into the life portion of the podcast that revolves around sports. So the cat bag, I already told you guys, it's MLK Day. We got the 2K saves. I got a question for my 2K. See, I don't be having enough 2K people that be on here, because I be having a question for you 2Kers, and you don't be giving me the kind of response to the love that I be wanting. Apparently, you guys don't know a nigga, but if you do know a nigga, then you know that you know a nigga is coming out in college and he'll be joining the NFL soon, pretty soon. We got a Blue Chew promo code for you guys. The Knicks streak is finally over. We got the expected. When I say expected, we got very expected playoff results. Apparently, I didn't expect what's going on in Philly, but everybody else did. We got the birthday shout-outs I already told you about. We got trivia for you guys. Same old trivia, different format. Oh, this one's going to be fun, right? We told you that we live at Sharkeys. We got Monday Night Football. Pittsburgh and Buffalo already played. We got Philly taking on Tampa Bay going on right now, and you would swear that Tom Brady was back. We have all that and more coming up next right here on the show. But you know what we say here, regardless of the time and regardless of the weather,
they are who we thought they were. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
This is always a blast on the MyT Sports Podcast. So, I'm going to stir this pot up good today. You got to get like Bernie Mac and stir that shit like coffee. You got to rub your nose in like a you got to rub your nose in like a pit bull. Like a red nose. Let's start talking. Woo! Back at it like a sports fanatic. MyT Sports. You know I missed you guys when I give you the full intro without any heartbeats, no skips, and add-ons. You know I missed you guys. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've been here. Like, I'm telling you, I haven't been here all year. I have not been here all year. We're 15 days deep. Let's start this off though, because you know every once in a while I tell you guys there's a special event that happens that makes me have to break the podcast and talk about it first. Now this one is actually kind of lighthearted, depending on how you look at it. But I mentioned it once. I'm gonna mention it again. Happy Martin Luther King Day. Now, like I said, depending on how you look at it, it's kind of up and down. It's somebody that you know throughout history fought for our freedoms, fought for equality, but also they told him, "Get your hands out my pocket," and they gunned him down in the middle of the city. But it was one of those losses that you become a symbol and you become a martyr, right? At the end of the day, and your death ends up having exponential weight over your life. And he had a great life. He had a massively great life. So definitely want to say happy MLK Day. But let's go ahead and get into the show. Because, like I said, that could be a little somber, that could be a little two-way, that could be a little three-ways. But we're going to make sure we do this. We're going to do this one way and one way only. It is time for the day's shout out. I'm going to need everything that I have for this one and a little bit more. Yo, talk to me nice, baby. I'm going to need this at a good level. You guys ready? Let's get it. likes that. You likes that? I like that because yeah, it's your birthday. We said it's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your because your birthday. We sing happy birthday. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. I seen one of you's already looking. Man, we got birthdays galore. When I say birthdays galore, this is what happens when you're not here for 2+ weeks. The birthdays, they just pile up, and they pile up. Next thing you know, you're looking at your desk and you got a desk full of TPS reports that you gotta submit before the end of the day, and you trying to figure out how you're gonna get out on time so that you can go ahead and see your boo. But you know what? To everybody's about to mention. Let's go ahead and start from the first. Want to say happy birthday to Mark Muniz. Let's go to the second. Want to say happy birthday to Denise Rupp. Let's go to the third. Want to say happy birthday to Bridget Rosario Lena. That wasn't your last name before. You got married or something? Wasn't it Trento? All right. I'm gonna let that slide, Kesnig. All right. Well, happy birthday to Lena Kesnig. Want to say happy birthday to Danielle. Wait, wasn't that Costanzo before? You get married too? I'm gonna let that one slide too. Danielle, that's an old army buddy. That's an old army buddy of mine. I say army buddy, but she's in the Air Force actually. Oh my God! When I say that's an old buddy of mine, Danielle Foot. We've been friends. We haven't spoken in a while. I got checking on her. Her kids are probably like super grown by now. We worked in the same in Dixie in high school. Stayed in contact through my time in the Army, through her time in the Air Force. I'm a horrible writer. She could attest to that. I am a horrible. See, you know it's funny because the same thing just happens in different cycles. I was really bad at writing letters back to people back then, and today I'm really bad at responding to text messages. Same shit, different day, but I still love you though. I want to say happy birthday to you. Right. Next, we got birthdays for the 4th. Want to say happy birthday to Jeremiah Cruz. Actually, tell Tasha I said what's up next time you talk to her. Want to say happy birthday to Talia Hartfield. Wait a minute, Talia. Is that my niece, Talia? Oh Lord, that wasn't your last name before. You get married too? Yo, I know you at least dropped a hit single. You make sure you give them a big bear hug to me, right? Also, we gotta move on to the 6th. Want to say happy birthday to Greg Shaw. Also, to Trisha Phillips. And rest in peace to my uncle Mark as well. All right, next we move on to the 6th and to Jason McDonald's. I got nothing for the 7th, had nothing for the 8th. We come to the 9th, and this is a person that I had the pleasure of actually announcing one of his matches with when I was with Platinum Pro Wrestling. So when I say and happy birthday to Chris Silvo. Hey yo, promotions out there. I don't know if you know this, but if you need somebody to add to your show, we're talking about a professional of the professionals of the professionals. You add Chris Silvo to your organization, you add him to your franchise, you add him to your production. And if you need somebody to also help teach some of the young ones out there, you also send him Chris Silvo's way as well. From what I've seen or heard in the past, one of the better instructors in the biz. Go holla at him. Next, we move on to the 11th. Want to say happy birthday to Gina Lopez and Nick Arena. You guys seen Nick over here? He's been around. He's been here on the podcast. I haven't seen him pop up in a while, but one. Right. Also to Gina because she named her baby Brooklyn, and you know how near and dear that is to my heart. So to you and the little one. Then we move on to the 12th, and we still ain't done yet. I told you we're gonna roll this all the way into the 15th. I'm a little part. Excuse me. Excuse me, lovely lady. May I have another beverage to parch my throat, please? Yes, please. Thank you very dearly. All right, Pippin, back to the matter at hand, right? So we still got mad birthday shout out to you. We Still got mad birthday shout out to you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Everybody that's popping in, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Yo, I'm having a good time now. You know what I say? If I'm wilding, if I'm smiling, I'm wilding. And obviously I'm smiling, so I'm definitely wilding. Is that a Patriots jersey? I think that is a Patriots jersey. Boo! Boo! Was that a Patriots jersey? Boo! What does that say? McCoy. I think that was a Deshaun McCoy Patriots. Boo! Sorry, I can't even. You know what? This is my fault. I didn't handle that properly. Excuse me. I didn't handle that one properly. Excuse me. I could have handled that one a little bit better. But you know what? I'm not the most mature person in the room at the time. So, depending on me to always handle things right, when you know I'm a bona fide shit talker, right? Like that, I don't think that's the move. I don't think that's the move at all that you should be making. But I should have handled that differently. I should have handled it like this. That's not for you. This is for you. Thank you. Wonderful. Appreciate you.
Danger zone. Woo! Danger zone. Danger zone.
Hey, good man, retarded. Emotional damage.
Okay, let's finish this up. All right. So where did we leave off? Right? Okay. So we got to the 12th. We got some special birthdays on the 12th too. We got some special birthdays for the 12th. For the 12th, let's go ahead and say happy birthday to Marianne Di Piero. And then I also want to say happy birthday to my homegirl Madeline Ospana. You know what? Since I've asked everybody that had their name changed that I thought was married, the fact I'm gonna do the same thing in reverse. I thought you was married. Your last name still Ospana? I thought you had simmered down. You know what I mean? And you caught the cramps, like stomach muscle, like the clamps, like locked down. LD, ball and chain. I'm locked up. They won't let me out. They won't let me. I'm locked up. I thought so, but I could be mistaken. Want to say happy birthday to Sean Parker as well. Sean Parker would like to be a part of the show, but he know we gonna sit here and just argue back and forth, and it ain't gonna be a lot of show private. But I'm telling you, Sean, you know you want to come on the show. You know you make some good content. Bring your big ass on this show. Let's talk some sports. But before that, happy birthday to you. Right. Also want to say happy birthday to one of my best friend's brothers, right? Andrew Colton. Happy birthday to you. Yo, not only do I miss him, right? I miss the whole family. I gotta come on. I gotta find it the next time y'all are bowling and just pop up and be like, oh shit, conjugal. Like, no, wrong verse. Oh goddamn! Wait, what am I seeing? What am I? Okay, let's get back. So happy birthday to Andrew Colton as well. That's the 12th. Luckily, I had no birthdays for the 13th. So look at this. I had no birthdays for the 7th, for the 8th. No birthdays for the 10th. Nobody from 13th and 14th. There is no particular pattern. I was just kind of surprised. I knew nobody with on at least 5 days of no birthdays, because you see how this is going. Like, I got 15 days, and there's way more than 15 people here. And we got days that we skip people. But let's not make sure we skip anybody else, because we are on today, Martin Luther King Day. We're talking about I'm black, y'all, because I'm black, y'all, and I'm blackity black, and I'm black, y'all, because I'm black, and I'm black, and I'm black, and I'm blackity black, and I'm black, y'all, right? Ooh, I should have played that. Ooh, when I come out of break, we get it down on MLK Day for sure. But want to say happy birthday. Now, on this MLK Day, we got a couple of birthdays, right? Want to say happy birthday to Leonardo Fernando. That is also somebody I had the pleasure of calling his matches, of announcing to the ring while I was with Platinum Pro Wrestling. And again, I'm going to give you guys another nugget. It's very rare that we get multiple wrestling nuggets in one show. And I'm going to tell you the same thing that I've told you about Chris. You want your show to pop? You want somebody that knows how to work that mic. You want somebody that knows how to engage with the audience and have them engaging back. You want to make sure that your organization has a little caliente, you know what I mean? It gets a little fuego, and you hire Leonardo Fernando to your show. And I'm telling you, things will spice up. Want to say happy birthday as well to one of my homegirls, Maria Perovanovich. I used to just call you Maria P. My years now in sports has helped me pronounce your name a lot better these days. So happy birthday to my homegirl, Maria Perovanovich. I didn't even know you were a Vitch. Like I really didn't know you were a Vitch. Like, I really didn't. Like, because as a basketball fan, right, you guys know the Vitches are normally great shooters, right? Like we're talking about Vujovic, Stojakovic, right? Let's see, Peja Stojakovic, Vujovic. There's a couple of bitches throughout the history of basketball, and they're all the lethal shooters. So much of the show that Shaq, you know what I mean, said I'm gonna start working on my 3-point shot, and you're gonna start me calling Shakovic. Right? So I didn't even know you were a bitch. Like it's weird. Like, now that I'm like, when I really piece together, like I said, I could pronounce it. Before I should have seen the P and be like, fuck all them other 82 letters attached to your last name. And I just a lot of like, listen, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 10 letters after the first initial one. So I was like, yeah, fuck all them 10 letters. That's a lot of letters. I used to call you Maria P. Like, even today in my phone, I still got you saved as Maria P. Happy birthday, girl. Happy birthday to you. I didn't know you was a vetch. I'm just saying though, it explains though, because actually I got no easy way to say that transitionally without it making it seem sexual. So I'm just gonna let that one slide and move on about my business. Next, I want to say happy birthday to one of my army buddies, Calvin Sublime. Yeah, I want to say happy birthday to him. Oh wait, so 1 second. And then lastly, today, gotta say happy birthday to my sis, Tia motherfucking Harvey. Which, Tia ain't even her real first name. I tell you, every time I see your real first name, I be like, oh yeah, that's right. Your name ain't, I ain't gonna put the full government out there, because you may be hired from a couple of people that don't need to know what the full government, like yo, work people, government name. Everybody else, shortened version. I feel you. I want to say happy birthday to you, sis. Listen, anytime I can get on the mic, or I can get in front of any individual and give you a big up, I make sure that I do, because what the job that you do is phenomenal. As an example, as a person, as a mother, as a woman, I appreciate you in our family. I think we can cut the birthdays there. But let's go ahead and get the last bit of people in the room, right? It's going to be a long one, right? So to Mark and Denise and to Bridget and to Lena and to Danielle. I feel like I'm doing a DMX song. It was LaShawn, Inez, Keisha, and Trisha. At least 3 Kims. So we got Mark, Denise, Bridget, Lena, Danielle, Jeremiah, Talia, and Greg. Trisha, Mark, Jason, Chris, Gina, Nick, Marianne, Madeline, Sean, Andrew, Leo, Maria, Calvin, and sis. I want to wish you all a happy birthday. We hope you party hard, you enjoy everything, you regret nothing, but more importantly, you continue to stay. But more importantly, you flex on these hoes, because you guys have had enough weekends to go out and enjoy your birthday. So you make sure you get out there, you flex on these hoes, and you continue to stay. MyT. Woo! That was a long one. I ain't gonna lie. That was one of the longest intros we have done. But it was so worth it. It was so gosh darn mother freaking worth it to make sure that I get all of you guys in there and get the birthday shout outs out there. You know what? I forgot to get Podbean in there, but as long as we are recording in the place that matters to me the most, everything is Gucci, baby. Let's get into some of these sports because it's been a long time over a long time, and I'm gonna let you know right now. This is probably going to be one of the major hating podcasts that you will witness me putting on. Let me see if we can turn this down. All right, because can I tell you, the teams that were in the playoffs and the ones that lost in horrific fashion, in the exact way that everybody told you that was probably going to happen to them in the first round of the playoffs, because for the Dolphins, for the Cowboys, and for the Browns,
They are who we thought they were. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
they are exactly who we thought they were. Let's start off with the Miami Dolphins, who got roasted in the coldest game in NFL history. And listen, not for nothing. Yeah, I just turned my phone back on because I forgot I wasn't on Instagram for you guys, so I had to make sure I got on. So, not for nothing. You know, guys, what happens when not for nothing comes on. Exactly. Not for nothing. The Dolphins lost this game before it even happened. How do you say that, Talon? Well, let me explain. Let me stop. Coming from the players and even the fans, from the media that is around the players, you constantly heard the complaints about the weather. Oh, it's so cold. Oh, it's this and this. And listen, not for nothing. If your fan base has a loser mentality, that means your players gonna have a loser mentality. How does that make sense? It doesn't make sense. It's sports. All week long, all I heard were Dolphins fans complaining, woe is me, woe is me. It's so cold, it's so cold. This is inhumane. Anybody that decides to to go to this game, they should automatically get tickets to the Super Bowl. Like, you understand the things that they were saying, and I'm looking at people like,
Well, is the man retarded?
like, that's how I kept on, because I'm like, when did football stop being football? See, you know what this is? This is a warm weather climate team complaining and knowing if they go to this frozen tundra, right? If you go to this cold weather environment where it's a one game elimination against an above 500 team, you are now stacking up the possibilities and probabilities that you're going to lose. Oh, it was written. We were talking about Nas's third album. It was written all day long. We knew the Dolphins was going to lose this game. Yeah. I'm going to let you know, I may be the only person that didn't know that Philly was going to lose this game, because I'm shocked. Everybody knew that Philly. Listen, I am over here like, the fuck? Like, I'm shocked. Okay, I expected Philly.
It's over already. You don't believe in following trends?
I believe that, and maybe because I don't dislike Philly, maybe that's the reason that I'm looking at them like, yo, you've been pretty good all season. Like, I understand that you fell on the schneid, but yo, you can bounce back when your back is now against the wall and you realize, yo, this is a one game elimination. It's flight or flight. We gotta win here. That's what I anticipated.
That's what I felt. The same thing. Like they're probably gonna win. They have been on a downward trend, but at the same time, there's always that bounce back factor. They could possibly come back.
You know what though? They at least should be lucky they made it back, because you know what the NFL turn around when it comes to their playoffs. Like what they say, 40% of the teams don't make it back, or is it 40% make it back? Like it's some crazy stat. 60% of the teams don't make it back. So Philly needs to be lucky they even made it back, and them making it back to the Super Bowl is even less likely, because the Super Bowl loser generally never makes it back to the Super Bowl either the next year. So they're gonna have to I'm sorry?
They won't make it to the second round.
The way it's looking, they probably won't. And this will be the only one that surprises me. Dolphins, I knew it. Like you can see, you see it coming. Now, I'm gonna blame this on the Dolphins players, but it was the Dolphins fans and other fans. You just had a loser mentality coming in. Too many complaints about the weather, like too worried about it. You saw Tua not being able to get off. You saw, and this is, even though Tyreek Hill has played in Kansas City before, you still see the problems that he has in a cold weather environment. Because you know what really helps diminish a little bit of speed? Frozen ground. You start getting that cartoon effect. I wish I had that sound. I gotta add it now. but you start getting those Bugs Bunny legs, and you next thing, yeah. You don't go anywhere for this all. You don't get that same traction. You can't break the same way. Like in games like this, it's good to have a big, slow, reliable tight end. We were actually really surprised that Kansas City had a good running game to actually complement what they were trying to do, because in the past, Kansas City's running game has been way too fugazi. And it's their own fault. We don't pity them when it comes to the deficit, right? Or the depletion that they have, or the black hole they had in their running back, because they got cute. Picking small, quick guys instead of your Taylors, right? And other bigger, reliable backs that we've seen come through this league, especially that year. Can you imagine having a Jonathan Taylor in Kansas City? A guy that can run out of the back, but you want to get speed because you keep looking. You like sometimes you get too caught up in the gimmick of sports, right? Or in this case, the gimmicky of football, thinking everything needs to be speed, and not just focusing on the fundamentals of football, where you want to complement all of your areas, right, with solid, reliable play that the analytics and the numbers from the past show work sometimes. Why get cute when everything around you functions so well? Why not? Because while everybody is flashy, you know what will make Kansas City great? A bludgeon. I mean, a straight bludgeon, sledgehammer. Beat your head against the wall until you bleed your own blood running game. Find me the bus. Find me, what was that guy that the New York Giants had when they had their championship? Find me a Fournette. Find me those bludgeon guys that is just going to keep going downfield. And granted, they can still catch out the backfield, but they do better playing longer because they get stronger as the game goes on. Those Marshawn Lynches, granted, you can find a lot of Marshawn Lynches, but you can find your sledgehammers. You can find your blunt objects. Now, this is just a wonderful day. Like, I know it sounds bad, but as a New Yorker, this is a great day. This is a great day as a New York fan, because when your team isn't in it, where do you find your joy? Where do you get your happiness from? Well, we all know the saying, misery loves company. So when your team ain't in it and they're sitting at home and you're over here and you're over here wondering what you're gonna do next, woe is me, you want your rivals to come down here and join you and bellow and bathe and swim in your misery. That's where I'm at as a New Yorker, period. Jets fan. Yo, loving the fact that the Dolphins lost. Giants as a New Yorker, loving the fact the Cowboys lost. Buffalo as a New Yorker, loving the fact that they. I'm not really happy that they embarrassed Pittsburgh, but I'm just happy that they won. I got love for Mike Tomlin, so I'm not bathing in that one. That one I'm just happy that New York didn't embarrass themselves early as the only last team that represents New York, kinda. Because you know Buffalo, they represent New York and they represent Canada. Like they're Canada's team. Like that, it just is what it is. Like you guys understand that even after cracking Patrick Mahomes' helmet, mind you, no concussion protocol. At least if they did, I don't remember. But no concussion protocol. Just cracked helmet. Thank you. Just cracked helmet. Let's move on. Put the new helmet on. See if you like it. If you do, if you don't, okay. And honestly, I ain't gonna lie. There was a point in time I honestly thought that the cracked helmet may end up being a problem for Patrick Mahomes, but he showed there was no problem whatsoever with this cracked helmet or this scenario. Like it was easy work. It was real easy work. Yeah, we finally got Instagram up. Let's see how tall I can get you without getting the knob. We have to catch you seated. It's gonna have to be seated. There we go. Yeah, we back. Fucking live and direct. And I said, I'll be wilding. You guys really know I'll be wilding over here. So the Dolphins end up losing this game 7-26. And I'll come on. Okay, hold on. What's up, Sally? How you doing? Oh shit, we got Sally calling in Tallahassee, checking in from Tallahassee or West Vermont or someplace that's north and maybe cold. Damn it. No. Hold on. Yo. Oh, he's on me. Okay. Let's do it this way. At least I don't gotta worry about that overhead still. I know it's kind of close, it's kind of tight. Jesus, I can see everything. Like if I adjust myself, y'all gonna see all of it. Okay, fine. I just have to. Jesus. Okay, we gonna. I don't know. So I want to see y'all comments. I want to. How you doing? Oh. So the Dolphins game is a little bit worse, right? Like all of these are embarrassing. And you know what? Let me go ahead and put this on wax now. All of these losses are kind of embarrassing. If you're the Dolphins, you lost in embarrassing fashion. If you're the Cowboys, you lost in embarrassing fashion. If you're the Browns, you lost in embarrassing fashion. I'm sorry. These are all funny to me. I can't help myself.
Cleveland! This is for you!
Because, I'm going to be all over the place today, right? Because for all of the Jets fans, right? It's so many different ways this ties into Jets, but all of the Jets fans that wanted Joe Flacco and wanted Joe fucking Fluco, like you forgot Like you all of a sudden forgot what the fuck he looked like last year on our team. But no, but see, I told everybody, you guys, people forgot. Fluco came through, looked hot in the beginning of the season, and then next thing you know, he looked horrible. He looked like an 82-year-old man that came back to play football, but had 2 good runs in him. Because that's how he looked for the Jets last year. He was immobile, couldn't do shit, had a couple of 300-yard games. Looked like, oh my God, Joe Flacco still has it. He can still sling this thing. And then what started happening? He started looking just as bad as Zach Wilson. And that's exactly what happened. I said, I become, and I knew Cleveland Brown fans and other fans were like, oh, look at Joe Flacco off the couch. And I'm like, well, of course you're going to look good in week 18 when you join the team in week 12. But when he was on the Jets from the beginning of the season, did you know when he started to look like shit? By week 5. So, guess what I was anticipating happening? By the time you guys got to the playoffs, and now you get to the bright lights, because every game you play in New York is under the bright lights. So when he's playing under the bright lights, right, of the playoffs, I kind of figured that Joe Flacco was going to look like this. We will talk about them for real later. because like I said, there were some embarrassing losses. I will say this now. Out of all of the embarrassing losses, the Cowboys probably looked the least embarrassing. And I'll give you it. Tua got a tongue twister, 20 for 39. Why are you passing the ball 40 times when it's frozen? Mustard, eight carries. That's it. You're in a cold weather environment, and totally, as a collective, you don't rush more than 20 times. While the Kansas City Chiefs, a team not known for running, put up 24 carries with Pacheco. Because that's their new big body guy. That's the guy that they realize, yo, we can't be getting cute with Kyle Edwards-Helaire. Eclair. Because he was soft like a Twinkie filling. We can't do nothing with Kyle Edwards-Eclair. So they upgraded and they got Pacheco. Pacheco runs 24 times. He rushed more than that whole team. How do you win a game in the cold running less than 20 times? How do you win a game in the cold when your number one rusher is running only 8 times? I know you're saying, well, they got down early. What's going on, Jen? Oh, my God. Hey, yo, it's Jen. How you doing, baby? How you doing, sweetheart? Miss your face. Y'all make sure y'all check out. Oh, my God. You still in Vegas? Is that where you went back to? Is that where you disappeared? I should say went back to. Is that where you disappeared to? Is what I'm... Why did it? Well, how you doing? Hope everything is good. Happy New Year. Happy MLK Day. So, let's get back into it. So, I know you're gonna say, well, you got down early, and we needed to pass the ball, and no, that doesn't matter to me, because I understand you may go down early, but you have to at least attempt to try to wear this down. So if you got to play the slow game a little bit so that you could hopefully bust one open, right? Wear them down, then that's what you do. But what the Dolphins did is that they put the Kansas City Chiefs in an advantage on offense and an advantage on defense. Because on defense, they never had to go backwards because they weren't running. So the defense is basically rushing, and moving forward, which means that your O-line is getting tired. Defense, they're coming on your defense, they're rushing the ball. Your D-line is getting tired. And it's cold. You sucking wind. I can see the wind. I saw your breaths. They had 2 feet of air in front of them. Look at it. 2 feet of cold air when they were taking their breath. So I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear complaints about the weather, right? And you know why I don't want to hear complaints about the weather? We forget that the Miami Dolphins arena is specifically designed so the away team is always in the sun. Where at times in their section they may be 20 degrees plus warmer than what the home team is sitting in. So I don't want to hear any complaints about the weather and home weather advantage, because home weather advantage is what comes with home field advantage. So if you want to play in sunshiny Florida, then guess what? You got to do a little bit more than win your division. You needed to host this game. And unfortunately, you weren't there. And now, fortunately, you are not. Oh, okay. You are not in the playoffs. And it is such a brighter day. What's going on? Don't be breaking glass back. Somebody already broke over there already. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It's definitely been known that the Dolphins have been eliminated. Listen, it's real simple, right? In this league, if you're going to win, you need to either have a guy or you need to know a nigga. Or I'm sorry, let me pronounce it right. You need to know a nigga. Yeah. Like I said, in this league, you have to have a dope ass quarterback to win, or you got to know a guy or know a nigga. Have you seen this kid know a nigga? So, Knigga. I'm not sure. See? Are you? See? If you were watching right now, if you was watching right now on YouTube or Facebook, you'd be able to see it. But there is this kid, and number 10. Some Tomo. Oh, that one from earlier?
Because I remember Anna had to drag her out of here one time before.
I'm telling you. It's going to be a brighter day. It's going to lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. So there's this kid. He's number 10. He's a football he's a prospect coming up. First name Noah. Last name Knigga. Noah Nagga. Listen, I saw his name first, and I was like, who's this nigga? And what? Like, how did this? I was like, this is when you know you really grow up in a predominantly white area, right? Because because you know they interview like, has anybody ever given you any slack for this? They're like, no, like it's pretty like everybody. Like, I was like, and I try to think of the origin, and the only thing I can think of, he comes from a long line of nigga lovers. Right? and somewhere along his family history, somebody in his blood, yeah, somebody in his bloodline was caught, right, mixing. Somebody in his bloodline was caught by the master of the plantation of him fraternizing with black people. I don't know if it was one of his male forefathers, one of his female forefathers, but somebody in his heritage did, and they branded him the last name Nagga as punishment. And next thing you know, we're talking 6 generations down, and now we all know a Nagga. Oh my god. So right? And right now he's in high school, so he hasn't even gotten to college yet. He's right now he's in high school, and he's already being in. Yeah, I'm telling you, white kid in the middle of nowhere. That sounds like
he's still like, can I say it?
like no, you know,
His parents did it on purpose.
he knows better. That's what I'm saying. Somebody, listen, either somebody in his family did it on purpose. I like to think it was punishment from the master of the plantation that he was on. So he's being interviewed by ESPN, and he's being interviewed. He got interviewed by who was the quarterback from Washington when he got Kirk Cousins at the same time? The one that got injured all the time. Robert Griffin III. He asked him, "Have you guys ever been to Paris?" Niggas in Paris. And no doubt, he passed the vibe test because the rest of the family is like, Paris? Why would we? And he's like, wait, no. There's a song called Ends in Paris. No, we haven't been to Paris yet. He was like, Robert Griffin's like, I'm just asking. I was just wanted to know. Had nothing to do with us. I just wondered if you guys ever been to Paris. But they did ask him how you pronounce it, and it was like Naga. So it's an N. It sounds like Nagga. Yeah. And I was like,
my name is K.I., but it's
so I was like, okay. They may have to add one of them little accent marks or something like that over that I. You know, like put a little like. So when you look at their name only has a dot over that I. I think they need to tilt that hat to the side, put one of them little things on there. You know what I mean? So we know. Okay, we need to pronounce this I funny so it doesn't sound like because and you know what though? In a weird way, it's good he's getting exposure now because I would hate to be the first announcer that isn't black that fucks up his name on national TV. He's like, well, we have Noah who? Number 10, Noah. And he's a two-sport athlete. He plays basketball and he plays football. Like, look at this nigga. Two-sport athlete. And he for real. Oh man. Jesus. Like I could imagine.
Announcers gonna mess it up anyway.
Listen, there's gonna be. Listen, somebody. Listen. Listen, there's announcers now that be like, now coming to the line is Robinson. Like what? Like where?
That's not even my middle name.
like Kareem Hunt, right? I like to say that his middle name is Mike.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Kareem Mike Hunt, right? like talk about names. Like seriously, Steve Kerr's son is named Nick.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I told my cousin from Canada this. He thought I was playing a gag on him. I'm like, no.
He had a thought about that.
I was like, you know, he says his full name every time he gets mad at him. Come downstairs, you little Nick Kerr. What did you say to your mother? Nick Kerr, please. I don't want any back talk from you. Listen, Nick Kerr, I had to deal with Draymond today. You would not believe he punched his teammate. Nick Kerr, he punched his teammate in the face in front of me. Like, you know, because it's there. It's just there for the taking. You can't listen, if Steve doesn't do it himself, he has an inappropriate uncle that does it every time at the family get together. He has to. That's my little Nicker right there. We got two lines of knickers. Oh man. I'm not talking about Knicks fans, not you knickers. We're talking about a different set of knickers. Oh man. But But for all the bright lights, right, that this guy is getting, right? Even if you have a guy or you know a guy, sometimes it doesn't matter about the bright lights. Sometimes your star don't shine. And that happened in Dallas. Did that happen? Again, another team outside of the Dolphins that I just take joy in them losing. And you know what? I don't even know why anymore. Like, I don't know when it started. I don't know why I enjoyed it. I don't know why I enjoy the Cowboys losing. I got some very dear friends that are Cowboys fans, and I'm just like, like, I just want to laugh at them. Listen, my team's not in it. My only joy is them joining me in this misery. We could sit on this couch of misery, and we could have two broken ankles together.
Or TV.
On TV. Yeah, listen, the amount of televisions Cowboys fans break on a yearly basis is astronomical. But you know what, though? The TV industry is winning. Like, I have to look into Jerry Jones's investments, because if he owns any television production companies, I already know what the ruse is. I already know what the ruse is, because there's no way. There's no way. I understand for Dolphins fans, this is your first time kind of here with Tua, right? You're happy for them. They're still kind of happy that he lasted through the season without throwing up gang signs again, right? Because you remember last year he was repping blood, a Crip or whatever he was doing.
Oh, no. Really good cut.
Fully. So he was really happy that this year that he made it through without any of these notable injuries that can sideline, because he has had some major injuries dating all the way back to college. For him to have one healthy year, you're like, praise whatever you praise. It's a blessing for him and the Tua family, right? But as a Jets fan, I'm just glad Jets finally lost, because they played into their narrative kind of all year. They really haven't beaten any good teams. Every team above 500, they basically lost to all season long. When every Dolphins fan asks me, do you think that we can make a late run? I doubt it. I told the same thing to Dallas fans. I doubt it, because you both were sipping from the same formula. You needed breast milk. You needed some real milk. But you had that formula. And whatever formula you were sipping on, you thought you was big and strong, but yet you didn't realize that the government had spiked your formula. Now you got a tainted season because you had a light season. Now, granted, when you get a light schedule, you have to take advantage of it. That you do get credit for beating all of the teams that you should beat and not losing to any of those teams that were looking to tank, or any of these bottom feeding teams. No, you're supposed to beat them. But the fact that you struggled or couldn't beat any of the good teams, that consistently throughout the year threw up a red flag. Consistent red flags. And I don't know how many red flags that you need to see before you realize that, she belongs to the streets. And that's exactly where the Dolphins and the Cowboys are at. Right now, they're in the streets. They're not playing on turf. They're not in the bright lights. They're not enjoying themselves. They're sitting at home. They're boo-hooing. They're eating Ben and Jerry's in their new Stanley Cup, because the Stanley Cup fits that pint size or whatever, that small size of Ben and Jerry perfectly, right? We thought we were onto you, women. We realized why y'all want it. Y'all just want to keep y'all tubs of ice cream cold. We're onto your tricks. But out of all of them, while the Dolphins probably have the least heartbreaking loss because it's their first time here, Dallas played the better. Like, Dak played the best out of all of the quarterbacks. Like, Tua looked like shit. Dak played semi-well. Like, if he wins this game, we're talking about a 400-yard day for him. We're talking about real production. He just needed 500 yards, which is rare to have to get. But it just falls in what the Cowboys are, though. Is that you can put up 400 yards. You can score 30. How many points they put up? Hold on, let's double check that. You could put up, I want to say they had 35 points, but you could put up 35 points. But when you lose to a guy that's been in the playoffs for the first time, and this is your 18th trip with this quarterback, you expect 18th game with this quarterback. You expect experience, something to take over. They scored 32. You expect something to take over because, damn it, I don't want to see Green Bay get another quarterback again. Back to, what is this, a Drake song? Back to back to back. Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, and now Love? I don't want to see this. And this comes right back to Jets fans. Listen, we thought we was gonna get the better end of this deal. Quarterback injured in 4 plays. Their quarterback in the playoffs. They beat the Cowboys in the biggest stakes in their home. They went to the Star. They went to Jerry World, and they tap dance on them like they great. We was like, yo, this is a plaything. And there's a stigma about Dallas. They're always cute, but when you rough them up a little bit, and this is going back from the 90s, not the 90s, early 2000s. Which one when Bart Scott was playing in Baltimore and playing for the Jets? From then they knew, hey, the Cowboys get all of the attention. They get all of the glimmer, all of the hype. And when they win, they gonna get the headlines. And they gonna get the shine. And what ends up happening, it isn't just their fan base that gets that big ego. Players say that the Cowboys players also get that big ego, and they feel like, yo, we are really the shit. We are the star of the league. And they go and they get waxed and waxed and waxed because when it comes times to grit down and dig deeper, they can't dig deep. This is what players say. This isn't even me. Like throwing my opinion. This is players. Yeah, we don't need no premature wins over here.
They can't afford it.
But if you do happen to prematurely arrive to any occasion, you can always hop right back into it with Blue Chew. What's Blue Chew? Blue Chew just happens to be a little blue pill that can get you back your thrill. All you have to do is open up a pack and head straight to the sack. Just a few chews before you do. It has the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so this is one opportunity that you just can't miss. For a very low cost, you can beat it up like a boss, and she will love how you come through like a champ when you Blue Chew in advance. Yeah, with Kinson and Manchin. I'm rhyming them all. And if you use my promo code of GSSS, you can get your first order of Blue Chew for free. Yes, folks, for the free. All you have to do is pay for shipping and handling, and your package will be discreetly shipped to you. And then you know what it is after that? It's sexy time. It don't matter how you do it, whether it's doggy style, froggy style, jackhammer style, Amazon style, or you could be basic missionary style. There's a Blue Chew for you. And like I said, you can need it because you may arrive early and want to get back into the game. Hey, yo, coach, put me back in. I'm here now, right? Or you can just want it because you want to make sure that you do everything that you said you was gonna do in her DMs. It don't matter what you need it for. When it comes to Blue Chew, there's only 2 things that you need to know. You chew it, and then you do it.
Welcome for the lead on that there, buddy.
Yeah, I appreciate for the alley-oop. I appreciate the alley-oop over there. Right? So, now the Cowboys lose, right? And as a Jets fan, I get another set of good news because ding dong, the bitch is dead. The Belichick bitch. I'm so happy. Bill Belichick is leaving New England. I have relished in the fact that I've watched that dynasty crumble. But can I tell people, I am not as quick to call Bill Belichick a bust as some other individuals have, as they call him without Tom Brady. I refuse to do so because they have not been on equal footing in their departure. Tom Brady didn't go to a team that needed a complete rebuild. He went to a team that was a quarterback away. That team had a quarterback that threw 40 touchdowns, 5,000 yards on that team. And then he added Leonard Fournette and Antonio Brown and Rob Gronkowski to that team. They didn't have to start from the bottom and work it back up like Bill Belichick had to do with the Tom Brady departure. So when Bill Belichick leaves this team, if he goes to Philly, if he goes to Dallas, if he goes to one of these teams that seem like you just may now be an experienced head coach away to lock everybody in because everything else is in play, now this is when I'm going to start judging him. Because I've had to find other parameters to judge Bill Belichick. How have I judged Bill Belichick in the past? How has he looked without his Hall of Fame quarterback compared to other coaches in the league that had to rebuild without their Hall of Fame quarterback? Mike Tomlin, Pete Carroll, Andy Reid for years before he had Patrick Mahomes. He met Alex Smith looking like a Hall of Famer, but nobody else could work with him. Alex Smith everywhere else looked like Kirk Cousins. So I've judged Bill Belichick off of that instance, and he started falling short in that area to me. Now he has another side that he can still redeem himself or show that, you know what, it takes some time to really rebuild, and he's not afforded that at his age and this stage of his career on that team anymore. They're spoiled. Robert Kraft has gotten used to winning, as if he forgot what it looked like before Bill Belichick got there. Because before Bill Belichick got there, they was on government cheese. Now these motherfuckers, you know, I'm sorry, they got that shit in the can. They will lose. They were not speaking that happy that had government cheese, but they were struggling over there. Right? They were. Now, you know what I mean? Now they over here talking about, yo, I want crumbled blue cheese on top of mushrooms on my bacon Swiss cheeseburger. When all they had back then was, hey, yo, Ma, can we get McDonald's now? We got McDonald's at home. They were McDonald's at home. Not So Robert Kraft forgot about that. And now he's used to, he's like a chick that you just divorced, that you brought from nothing. She's like, oh, I'm used to this lifestyle. I want half. He's been used to a lifestyle now. He gets massages 90 minutes up the block in Florida, and he's been used to winning. Orchids of Asia, just to let you guys know, is 90 minutes north. I Googled it. It's 90 minutes. It's 90 minutes north. You too. I haven't been there. I just had to Google that motherfucker. I was like, yo, where did he go? I was like, everybody was complaining, because when everybody was complaining about, what's that? I don't even know if it was in June. I remember. It's somewhere up north. I remember everybody was complaining about, oh my God, how you going to do this during a playoff game? I'm like, he was 90 minutes away. Like, that's traffic in Miami. You're tripping. He could have been 3 blocks away and got there 90 minutes later. He flew in on a chopper. Like, what y'all complaining about? And it's the owner. It's like he needed to be there to give the guys an inspirational speech. Guys, do this for the skipper. Like, no. He didn't even do none of that shit. But he has been spoiled by Tom Brady. He's been spoiled by Bill Belichick. And now he's looking to go in a different direction. He hasn't been humbled yet. Or re-humbled yet. Because if Bill Belichick is struggling to do this rebuild, what makes you think you're going to bring just somebody else in here and they're going to have an easier 3 years than what Bill Belichick just had? And understand, Bill Belichick had 3 years that followed Tom Brady. So everything that him and Tom Brady did is fresh. So maybe that's part of the change more than anything, is that he cannot, as he's trying to rebuild, he can never Bill Belichick, that is, can't rebuild fast enough to get underneath the shadow of his own body of work. But Dallas is looking, it's tough. Like you're trying to beat yourself at your best. And you're old now. Yeah. You know what I mean? But now he may get a second chance, and teams like Dallas is even though Mike McCarthy has a contract, they're like, Bill Belichick is available. The Jets fan in me have heard the same talk about Rob Salah in New York. I understand.
You don't like him?
It's Bill Belichick. I hate him. Like, I can't. Oh, Rob Salah, you mean? Oh, come on, Bill Belichick. Oh, Rob Salah is a poor man's Rex Ryan. His defense is good. His defense isn't carrying him to the AFC Championship game. Granted, he had better weapons. Same problem, though. They have no clue how to develop an offense or develop a quarterback. So they know how to get the gurus on defense that they need. On offense, they're throwing darts against the wall and hoping that they land on a bullseye. They couldn't develop. They had no clue how to develop Mark Sanchez. They had no clue how to develop Geno Smith. And so far, they've been through three of a. It's a Jets thing in general. New York Knicks had the same thing with point guards on the time. They had no clue how to develop a point guard. Yet they always needed one. Need a quarterback, can't develop one. You guys will hear me say it, and I'll say it again. Coaches that say, "Oh, I need to get my guy," are bad coaches. We talked about good coaches at the beginning of this segment, and those guys have never needed to get a specific quarterback to win games or look good, because when they got that quarterback, they made that quarterback look better, and they won games with them. Did they go to the promised land? No, but their teams were never 2-win teams, 3-win teams, bottom of the barrel teams. Can't get off your own offensive line. The most penalized teams in the league. How does suddenly getting your guy mean anything? What you're trying to say is that I have to get a can't miss guy, because if I don't get a can't
develop the guy.
Exactly.
Because I'm chief coach.
Rob Salah. And no, listen, and a slew of other coaches too in the NFL.
We see this in other leagues too.
In the NBA too. No. I need to get my.
This in minor leagues too.
So what ends up happening is that they get to use this. They get to use this rhetoric of find my guy, and now things you get to reset now your coaching time clock. But what happens 9 times out of 10? Not only do they end up doing a shitty job with the quarterback that they had, they do a shitty job with the quarterback that they get.
See that too.
And so the I need to get my guy thing has really started rubbing me the wrong way. Because that one didn't affect me. That's another funny one. Yo, depending on who there was some really funny scenarios. Like, there's some really I can poke fun at you scenarios. I don't know how the outcome is. Dallas Chargers, but Detroit Chargers, Lions Chargers, that's one of them, because they literally swapped quarterbacks. Yeah, I'm sorry, Rams. But Rams, they literally swapped quarterbacks. And the quarterback that couldn't win in Detroit still can't win in Detroit. Like, you have a whole other team that you won a Super Bowl with, and you come here and you still can't win? Dak Prescott put up 400 yards and still lost. You listen. You can lose. You can win. Yeah.
Some amazing shit. Still lose.
But that narrative doesn't leave you. And did it? Wait, was it Dallas? No. It was Matthew Stafford. He threw two picks back to back. Like, they read him pick. Like, okay.
He making some crazy throws though, but that man said.
Well, you're right, which is why.
In the NFL game,
So
backyard shit.
before Matthew, before Patrick.
No, not like that. It was a sidearm.
So, listen.
He did like sidearm. It was a dude here. He looked this way.
Because he has elite arm talent, but it's not elite arm throw. He has elite arm placement talent.
So you say Detroit won a trade?
No, because what Detroit got was a good coach.
What about longevity?
No, there's some pieces that they got that makes that trade worth it. They didn't win a chip. They're building towards more. But if they didn't have the coach that they had, we're not looking at Detroit the same. Because we saw what he looked like before he got Dan Campbell. He was like Jared Goff was struggling. Like he was looking bummy in Detroit.
You know what the difference is, though? Dan Campbell, like you said, develops and builds him up as a character, as a man,
as a player. So not only did he work
sometimes all you need is somebody to
believe in you. Yes. So he believed in him, which is still encouraging him, and then he helped. Okay, now that you feel like the guy that was drafted early, you know, and now you feel like that draft pick again that you were. Let's start trying to clean up some of your mistakes now. Now it's received better because now you don't feel like he's just beating you down. Like, hey, we need you to clean up this. You need to clean up this tonight. No, he built you the fuck up, and as he built, like, yo, yeah, you amazing. Look at this. Do this shit. Hey, you think you can do it? Right? And that's what we saw. We saw him put in a game plan that can help him feel confident that he can win games again. And we see it, but also it's from every piece because if he has a mistake, the offense doesn't get down. The defense doesn't get down. They're all hype. They're all on 100. They're on go the whole entire time. So it's each one reach one teach one. My brother falls, I pick him back up, and if he's limping, I go 110%, no problem. And if we all can give 110%, we can make up for the 30% he's lacking. It's Detroit didn't win the trade because without the coach, this isn't a conversation. To win that trade, you kind of have to, like Jared Goff would have to go there.
Won a Super Bowl. So would you say the Rams won the trade?
So far, because what we kind of thought Matthew Stafford could do, he switched what is considered a toxic environment. At the same time, went to a better coach. He didn't have Dan Campbell. He never had Dan Campbell. He had all those other bums that Jared Goff couldn't play with either. Right? But he goes to a different coach, Sean McVay. Sean McVay is respected for his coaching, so somebody he can lock in and listen to. You've seen this team go steps forward, so you're not gonna not pay attention. You're not gonna not try to help with the things that do the things the little things that the coach is like, hey, I know you're great. I know you did this. Detroit's been was a bad goal for you. You could be better. I've seen your numbers. We've seen your talent. And as he bigged them up, but do you think you could do this better? How about this? Tweak this a little bit. How about dial this back? How about push this forward? And now Matthew Stafford, again, same thing. That Jared Goff, they both benefited from the same thing. Having a coach behind them that built up their confidence and then helped complement their gameplay. And then once those two things lined, you see the benefits of it. The LA was further along in the process. So for them, it was from playoffs to Super Bowl. Detroit was a lot further back in the process. So for them, it's struggling season, better season, competitive season, playoffs. So they're on the upward trajectory, but that's not because Jared Goff came there and was the false multiplier. It's because they got a coach in there that says, we won't quit. You knock us down, we gonna bite off a calf. You knock us back down, we gonna get up and bite off an Achilles. You knock us back down, we're gonna bite off a knee. Knock us back down, we're gonna bite off a thigh. Hey, yo, coach, you get a little too close to the grizzly. We'll bite that shit off too. We don't give a fuck, right? Like that's what he did, and everybody made fun of him. He was a punchline for 2 years, but that was the mentality that his team adapted, which helped propel them to Detroit Lions that we see today beat the Dallas Cowboys. So yeah, Detroit didn't win that trade, but they are benefiting from coach that is helping to maximize all of those trade prospects. Because without him, yeah, I'm all over the place. Green Bay beat Dallas, which is a different hard. Yeah, like so, because they're all bad. Like So it's like trying to figure out. Yeah, first time in the playoffs. I'm shocked that certain organizations rinse and repeat of success. And the two franchises that literally comes to my mind, even though Cowboys can be there too, even though what is touching themselves on Super Bowl, but where they are consistently is successful. They just don't break through. But to get into the playoffs every year is success. Believe it or not, it's success. Because to win a championship, you have to be in the playoffs first. That's the very first step. The regular season, first step. Make it to the playoffs.
More than half the league didn't make it. So.
Exactly. So to be there consistently is successful. You're not breaking through and reaching the ultimate. So Detroit, successful. LA, like this, like these teams, they're right path. Detroit, like Detroit has been coming up. Green Bay. Okay, so what I'll say, teams that are successful, like Green Bay, being able to find another quarterback, like after you had the asshole that steals government funds from underprivileged kids to build a golf course, Favre. So let's not forget about that scumbag, right? And then you followed that up with Aaron Rodgers, and even when you thought Jordan Love wasn't going to hold, Love was his third year, playoffs already, and you're like, and beating down, and so that's what got me to the Jets thing again. Just not being able to. They know how to. Not only do they so well in development, Jordan Love did the same kind of process that Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre was. He is surely sign of not only that kind of similar success, but some of that similar gameplay, his throws that he's making, the off wrong foot, the cross the body, the out of rhythm, all upper body. Is this what they treat you? Like, I feel it's going to. Is it teaching Green Bay or like, hey, you know, here goes the film you need to watch, and they see guys and they emulate it. And then I go to Pittsburgh, where they only have so many coaches, which helps solidify your culture so much because come into that and think super coach's voice or displaced, I should say, on that team, because you know that Pittsburgh isn't going to change coaches like that. So now it allows to freely build program.
Yeah, but Tom gets a little backlash for not being strict with his star receivers and his players like that.
It is though.
So why do they have a receiver problem?
Who's the receiver problem?
They've had problems since Claypool. And so these guys always have some type of.
Just think about this. Antonio Brown, you basically heard nothing about him in Pittsburgh, and it was really one incident. It was when Mike Tomlin was talking, and let's try to cut down on the social media and the posting, and he just happened to be going live. Well, he wanted out. Juju was just a.
What's the problem with the receiver?
I don't see a problem with the receiver. Okay, so it's not a Mike Tom. So let me ask you this.
He's a good coach.
Let me hear. Did you hear more problems with Antonio Brown when he was a Pittsburgh Steeler or when he was away from Pittsburgh? So he kept that under wrap for 7 years. That's how I look look at that. Like, to put that like when people talk, you heard nothing about Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown was always Antonio Brown was always the guy that had to take off time to help to try to raise his son, his son and stuff like that. He was always this guy. He was always. But you heard nothing while he was in Pittsburgh. Everything happened when he came out, which shows you Pittsburgh kicked that chaps. Coach and organization him as much as he could until Antonio Brown got his knee and started having beliefs of how he should be and what he should do. And once he got to that, Mike Tomlin let him go. Yeah, he said. But it's I don't even say this hating on him though. Like, he thinks people are hating on him because he got paid. So he's thinking that, I shouldn't be treated like this anymore. I got money. Now, when I get the same treatment that I got when I wasn't paid, now you're hating on me because I'm paid. The fuck? We were treated the same when you didn't have no money. So now because you got... So see, Antonio Brown wanted preferential treatment because and not for nothing, he worked his ass off for it. 6th-round pick. Worked himself to be one of the highest paid receivers in the league. Undersized. 6 foot. But his ego was 12 foot, 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot.
I wouldn't say 6 foot is undersized.
Well, remember who he was being compared to at the time, where they would never call Antonio Brown the best wide receiver when you had guys like Johnson, who was bigger, doing the same thing, but not him. The guys in Atlanta. And somebody else. There we go. When you had those guys bigger than him, putting up similar numbers and making the same kind of spectacular catches. So Chad Johnson was small too, and he came out the slot.
He's not small. He's 6'2", 6'3".
Was he? Could have sworn Chad was like 5'11", 6 foot.
He's like 6'2", 6'3".
When I say small, we talking about small in athlete term.
As far as like weight, he's not that big. He's
Okay.
like 190.
Okay. I always thought he was a little bit shorter. So Antonio Brown was, remember, they used to call him the third best wide receiver when he was doing the same thing as those other guys, right? And because he was small, and I look at it almost the opposite. If he's doing the same thing as the guy that's 6'5", shit, imagine what he would do if he was 6'5", right? Right? So all of this Antonio Brown things we never heard of in Pittsburgh. It all culminated afterwards. And we get Juju Smith-Schuster once out of there. But then when Juju Smith leaves and he can't last in Kansas City, there's already kind of issues in New England. Is that Mike Tomlin? Or do you, in that point, you should credit them for being able to take some of these basket cases that are good receivers that other people may pass up on. They develop them, make them into great players, but when they become great, so does their ego inflate with them, and then they have to kind of let them go because some of these guys, because they had no problems with Antonio Brown. Not Antonio Brown, Santonio Holmes. You know what I mean? Like, he came to this thing, but he just wanted more money and left. Came to the Jets. That's all it was. Won a Super Bowl, it was like, I just wanted more money. It was so they do a great job in Pittsburgh. So you can't judge them on the things that you hear after these guys leave, because if you don't hear the big spill they're there, that means their organization and their coaching staff not only kept that under wraps, but also helped them keep them under wraps. Sorry, I can't. I don't know. I feel like I can't allow any dispersion on Mike Tomlin. He's been the longest reigning black coach. I know. Like you don't. Sometimes he don't get enough credit for what he does. Because again, his team 10-7 this year. Another above 500 year. Made it to the playoffs. Now, granted, I think they lost to Buffalo, right? Yeah, so they lost to Buffalo, but they should lose to Buffalo. Pittsburgh is still in a rebuilding process, still trying to develop a quarterback. Not sure if they have their quarterback yet. still kind of iffy about him. Buffalo, for the last 3-4 years, they come in as Super Bowl favorites. So a Super Bowl favorite plays a team that is on their struggling on the way. They have been a Super Bowl favorite for the last 3 years. Not the, but a Super Bowl favorite. Yeah, they've been one of those teams like, oh, they could win the Super Bowl this year. Could win the Super Bowl. They should win the Super Bowl this year. Like they've been in these talks. Now, what makes this sweeter is that they still have that juggernaut get through in Kansas City, which is weird. Kansas City has taken over what New England used to be. Like I feel like they're the gatekeepers of the AFC now. Like if you're gonna get out the AFC, you gotta at least get through them first, or at least prepare yourself to get through them. But yet, I don't hate Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes the way I hate Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, and the New England Patriots. Now, this just shows you how your division rival really makes a difference, because the way I know Raider fans. And the way I feel about Bill Belichick is how they feel about Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. They're like, man, I can't stand these niggas. I wish they would all go back where they came from. Philadelphia, that is. Remember, he used to coach Philly. Just let you guys, man, just. So, Cowboys' answer to their problem may be Bill Belichick. They're looking to maximize.
So Bill Belichick and rebuild, or Bill Belichick and keep Prescott and build off that?
It's gonna be so. If Bill Belichick goes to Dallas, he'll get 2 years. He'll get 2 years, and if he can't do it in 2 years, very first, Dak Prescott is gone. They may give Bill 3 years, a third year, but I'm assuming he's gonna get 2 years, and if that can't be done in 2 years, Bill Belichick, thank you for your services. We appreciate you. You couldn't do it with Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, thank you for your service. You couldn't do it with Bill. Let's go ahead and start. They're gonna clean house. If they get Bill Belichick and they don't win in 2 years, it is going through the car wash. We're talking about the cleaners. We're talking about the guy is coming through detailing your car. He's pulling apart your seats. He's getting underneath everything. Because Dallas has too many pieces. With Aaron Rodgers, he has. And you see that as Bill Belichick becomes available, they are speaking of, hey, we may have Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy have won before, but it's Bill Belichick. And I'm not a big believer in Bill Belichick, because what I've seen him post Tom Brady. Now, everybody that remembers him with Tom Brady. So you can't discount, you can't just ignore what he did. It's just, does he still has it? Which why it may work for Dallas, because you don't have to rebuild anything. You just have to get these guys to focus and fully buy in. Because what was that line from Karate Kid? He's like, "Oh, I'm focused." Well, your focus lacks more focus. They may have thought they were focused with Mike McCarthy, McCartney, whatever his name is. Right? But Bill Belichick, it may force them to rein things in just a little bit more. Because Bill Belichick also goes to the point where we're not just talking about on the court. I'm gonna need you to sacrifice this off the court. We're gonna have a 7:00 curfew. We're gonna do, you know what I mean? He may start pulling diet issues. Like he may bring in whatever that little bit to tweak is, and next thing you know, we're getting the result of Tom Brady going to Tampa. Because it wasn't that these guys weren't talented, but you can't tell Mike Evans every day that he wasn't training his ass off. You can't tell Mike Evans every year he wasn't focused. Tom Brady came in there, didn't realize he could be more focused. So if he can edge those guys, I can possibly see it, which is why I can also understand, thank you, as a Jets fan, why he's in talks, and he's in similar talks, because the Jets have a good, talented roster. They have a quarterback that you believe that he's also in that Hall of Fame category already. As Aaron Rodgers has come in as a figure, that's really helped a lot of guys tighten up their day-to-day processes, Bill Belichick will come in there and tighten it more. And you'll see the different level of professionalism when it comes from the coaching position versus Rob Salah. I just really don't like Bill Belichick. And it's going to be hard for me to root for him on my team. That's what this all boils down to. I don't know how I'm going to root for my team with Bill Belichick leading it. He's probably what the Jets need. I'm going to say probably. He would be the perfect fit for what the Jets need if this team is lacking focus, concentration, or just need the guys to maximize their talent, to squeeze that whatever last bit of juice they have. I just really hate Bill Belichick. But I don't know if I hate Bill Belichick more than Cat Williams hates Stevie. You see how these transitions go? Yo, talking about letting the cat out the bag. Cat Williams made us all forget that he got beat up by a 16-year-old 3 years ago. Right? Cat Williams hopped on Shannon Sharp's show and started with the flames. Talking about, I swear he was on All the Smoke the way he cut off. He sat down and his first words were, Your uncanny ability to associate yourselves with losers is not like you. I was like, what? You sit down and be like, you having losers on your show and having them talk their talk is something that I would not expect from you, a winner. Like, and that set the whole stage. Let's not forget, as a comedian, you are a master of ceremonies. You know how to command a room and command an audience. You know how to set people up. You know when to give them the punchline. And he sat down on Shannon Shaw, on Shay, Club Shay, and he set us up. He set Shannon Sharp up because he hit him with that line. And Shannon Sharp couldn't even say, skip. He was just like, carry on. Nothing. And let Cat Williams go on there and have the roast that we did not know that we needed. He roasted everybody. He roasted chickens. He roasted turkeys. He roasted rats. He roasted Cedric. He roasted entertainment. He roasted potato heads. He roasted everything. He roasted rocks. He roasted little people. Everybody. It did not matter. We're talking about exposure beyond the umpteenth belief. He was just like, yo, he stole Mark Cooper's whole act. I was like, you know what? I do remember the story of Bobanicious. Like, I do remember because I forgot what even show that was.
And that dude did an interview not too long ago. What's his name?
Mark Cooper, yeah.
Cool.
Come on, Mark Cooper. You said
not too long ago saying, like Steve Harvey stole my shit.
And it was supposed to be squashed. Like it was beef. It was like something.
But how much of is it really beef or is it like you calling somebody else?
Well, for Mark Cooper, for Mark Cooper and Steve Harvey, they had, from what I heard, they had kind of squashed it. Right? It was kind of a nothing burger. But then was it Steve? No. But Seth did an interview that kind of like overlooked or downplayed him in that. It put us in it. It was like, yo, like I been gave you a pass for this. Why are you still
bringing it up?
Why is this? Like you taking M shots? Okay, oh no. Now, okay.
Now I want to really tell people.
Exactly. Like now you want us to talk about people's mothers.
That's what it is. You trying to play somebody, but bitch, I'm gonna play you hard.
Exactly.
Like, you playing me, but bitch, you about to get played.
And now we're seeing that Cedric the Entertainer and Steve Harvey have been doing their best Drake impersonations. Like they've had ghostwriters forever. Like I'm gonna take your shit. I'm just gonna redo it because it sounds
literally in the same. Like I guess the response. I like he was getting out, he did it, and then by the end he was saying, "Oh, a lot of people steal my jokes, and I don't get mad." So what are you saying? That you did steal or you didn't?
Listen.
Or are you saying that you did steal it?
They like, I stole it.
He should shut the fuck up because people steal your shit.
He's like, listen, I stole it. I was a bigger name, so I thought the joke would sound better out of my mouth.
You should have said that instead of trying to be like that you didn't do shit wrong. Because now you look even more.
And you know what's funny too, because this is right. So it shows you the receipts. Because this is right in the beginning technological era where we're recording a little bit of everything, right? And those guys' seats on. Yo.
So you can tell, yeah.
Because you know he didn't get along with some of these niggas. He didn't. Bernie Mac didn't like some of these cats. He didn't like some of these cats. Like that, nah. It was business. It was strictly. Third quarter, 2 minutes 16 left. Philly still down, 9-16.
They pop it off.
Yeah. So yeah. Nah, it's football. So listen, you know what's funny? Two different reactions. You heard that, you're like, oh shit, they're rumbling. I heard that, I'm like, what's going on with the game? I'm like, this gotta be. You know what's funny? I just knew that once
she got kicked out from here before.
I
know Anna has. When I talk to Anna next, I'm gonna describe her hair. I think she tried to sneak in like she wasn't on the X list.
It's like if I get a new haircut, if I dye my hair and cut it off, maybe they won't. But I knew if I started the podcast while she was here, she was gonna get attracted to the lights.
No, she was about to get her ass beat.
So Cat Williams has let it out the bag. The cat out the bag. You put everybody on blast, and there really is no rebuttals. Now there are a lot of comedians he took shots at, and there's a lot of comedians talking about like, yo, Cat is wilding. He may be on drugs. I mean, like we all like. But see, when they say he's on drugs, like what drugs do they mean? Like, are they trying to say he's smoking too much weed? Because if somebody's smoking weed, you can't say they're on drugs. If you know somebody that smokes weed, you can't use the comment that they're on drugs, because when people hear you're on drugs, like you're smoking meth, like, like you can't say that shit. Like Cat Williams could be like doing weed, and they're like, oh, he needs to stop doing drugs. What, marijuana? Like that's not drugs. Like it's weed. Like weed has never been a drug. Being government, but it's never been a drug. It's been a happy plant that's been chilling in the back, you know, making us all smile and shit. How you doing, weed? How you guys doing? Steve Harvey exposed, Cedric Entertainer exposed. He exposed a couple of female artists, and some of them was kind of out of pocket. Like I honestly believe that Cat Williams just went on a tangent, but I'll tell you this: if by Cat Williams has a special coming out in the next year, you know it's gonna be watched. You know he made a special. He is coming out with the must watch. Like if his numbers was going down, he just boosted his views. So whether this was a premeditated attack or a sales pitch in a sense, kudos, because for Williams is gonna make him relevant for the year 2004 until something happens in February. I am shocked. I'm sorry, guys. I am shocked at this score. I am flabbergasted. Done. As I was saying, I was shocked. I'm telling you, Giants fans, right now, that are splurging in their pants. Between the Cowboys' loss and this Philly debacle, they are walking on brick. Like, it's simple. Like they are happening a pig and shit. Let me bring it down to common terms. Because if I'm happy as a Jets fan that the Dolphins lost, imagine how Giants fans feel about about Cowboys, Eagles. Like, and as we try to think about how do you guys feel about some trivia? What we got for trivia today? You guys gonna? Is that the? I thought he had a Patriots jersey on. I booed you earlier. I take it back. I thought that was a Patriots jersey. I booed the shit out of him earlier. I really thought that was a McCoy Patriot jersey. I booed him. But he didn't play for this. Did he? Shady McCoy. He played for Buffalo and Philly. Hey. Did he play for Patriots? I may have just been out of pocket. I was just must have been ready to boo somebody. Because so Teddy Pendergrass or Moe? I know, that's what I'm asking.
Well, nah, but this is Christopher Williams' version. So.
Teddy Pendergrass or Marvin Gaye?
Well, this is Christopher Williams' version. So. This is pretty good live.
Is he? Oh, I like a good live. With what? Speaking of lives, I got tickets to go see Busta Rhymes in April. Oh, thank you, sis. I got to thank my sis.
Got a little bit of Chuck going on now.
Hey, listen. As long as he can still spit the way that he spit, I'm good there. Listen. I'm gonna tell you that I'm gonna be more entertained than I was when I went to the Miami Heat game. I went to the Miami Heat when they played Houston, and I was pointed all around. No Jimmy Butler, no Dylan Brooks, right? It's like no agonists anywhere. Well, okay, it was a good game. Miami won. They won. They won. They never led by less than 5 points. Every single time Houston would close that gap, they push it back to double digit to a double. They just didn't have enough. It's like the Memphis Grizzlies don't have enough. Ja Morant got injured. That's a wash to their system. Now you see, what's his name? The muscle hamster. What's that guy's name with the short arms? Oh, Jesus! What is his name? I forgot what his name. He dislocated something on his hand, so he's gonna be out. And you realize Memphis is just kind of giving up for the rest of their season.
Actually, I don't. Oh, swear. I don't even go out.
So,
You know what?
since we're transitioning to basketball, hey yo, chill, Will is here. I knew it was gonna be a while. I know you're hurting, Will. I know you're hurting. I know you took a bad loss. I know things didn't go quite as you expected. You know.
Cleveland, this is for you.
Told you what Joe Flacco was. I could have told you what he looks like 6 games into a season. I could have told you what he looks like. I could have told you what he looks like when the lights are bright and the expectations are high. He's no longer that on his rookie contract. That Joe Flacco was clutch. Oh, here we go. We got chill. Oh wait, no, don't go nowhere, Will. I know you got to get your voice in here. So let's make sure we get Chill in here properly.
Drop takes, don't you? Drop takes, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Well, if you take drop them expeditiously.
This is for you.
Welcome in my senior Ohio correspondent, Chill Will. What's going on, Chill? Are you chilling today? I know today's a rough day. I know you didn't. What's that? Yes, sports wise. Oh man. True, true, true. You know what? This is another one of those games that had enough. That was your biggest fear of them winning? Oh man. Ah, okay. I, I mean, if Joe Flacco wins you a couple of games in the postseason, I don't think you have I still don't think you have a quarterback controversy if you already have a well-established quarterback. It's not like your quarterback was like Zach Wilson, right? Like if he does that when if your quarterback is Zach Wilson or some other bum, right? Then it's quarterback controversy. But when you have one of the great rapists of all, one of the great, young quarterbacks to come out of all of in Deshaun Watson. No, I really forgot for how. No, okay. This also goes to my other thing. As I go to come back, I find this weird, and I don't know if it was just me. I feel like the Cleveland Browns talked about while Deshaun Watson was winning. The moment they started winning games with Joe Flacco, I feel like they started getting national attention. And nobody likes Deshaun Watson. See, you are saying the same exact words I said about Joe Flacco last year. He wasn't quite winning games, but he was running the offense better. But Zach Wilson was actually winning games. Hey, Mike still in the game? Mike, you know I like Call him by his middle name. Kareem. Kareem. Stay in the pocket. Okay, okay. And I also feel like if you have Joe Flacco on your team, you just need to sign Antoine Bolden at the same time too. Just give a name. Like I feel like it would just help. I saw that already. 'Cause it was 16. LA, Detroit. Ooh. Oh, sorry. I'm so are you surprised at this Philly game? I, Rob Rob Salah, the Jets. Wait, the guy that's in Dallas now. You know, I forget about. That's me. That's me. I still believe he's better than Tua. I still believe he's better than Tua. They just ain't figured two out yet. They gonna figure two out next year. Because what we well, you know what though? I feel like that flipped because I feel like early in the season was the opposite. And then AJ Brown started complaining, and then it flipped the other way. I don't know. Because he's supposed to have two. He's supposed to have two monsters, and for some reason he's handicapping himself sometimes. Or they're handicapping him. Well, they also did a good job with Tua this year too because they forced Tua to get the ball out of his hand quicker than he's gotten it out before. So also in the beginning of the season too, and Miami was red hot. Tua had one of the quicker releases, right, or least amount of time that he spent holding the ball because he used to get it and bam. But that's also the benefit of warm weather and having Tyreek Hill, right? But he was getting rid of it. He was getting rid of it early. But Waddle too, yeah. Because they went all speed. They basically went Oakland Raiders the right way. Yeah, yeah. I forgot about HN too. Yeah. And yet, when it came down to it, in a cold weather game, the person the number one running back touched the ball 8 times. That's crazy to me. Which is funny. Casey, Casey. Well, oh yeah, but no, but he had Nico Collins as like looking like a top five. Actually, I think Nico Collins looked like a top five receiver this whole year. Come on, but he's their number one option, which is why I drafted him.
Who wants some trivia? Who wants to play trivia?
The head joint. But, this this is for more straight hair people. Huh? This it's like a sergeant but it won't work. It's a straight hair. It's more for straight hair people. So sorry about you. I didn't mean to cut you off, but you said something interesting, and I wanted to see if I can if I can get something out of you. Pause. So Kansas City. So you heard how I talked about how Miami couldn't run the ball, and you mentioned like, yo, sometimes you got like they were too gimmicky. Like you gotta sometimes strap the ball. You see what Kansas City has done, and the difference from this year versus a year or two ago. No, not Tyreek, not Tyreek. Somebody else that they drafted recently at that running back position. But remember how we used to talk about them before when they had Kyle Edwards-Helaire? Oh, I'm sorry. When he was, yeah, I forgot. Pacheco is basically. Huh? Jonathan Taylor was that year too. Because we talked. The reason why I'm asking this is because we've talked about like football. We this is Kansas City because they were getting gimmicky running backs, and we used to be like, yo, how the hell you pass the ball? Can you imagine this team with Jonathan Taylor? Like that's those. Fact. Yeah, is that okay? See, I knew I could get you rolling. Right there for the taking. I knew that was one of your sore spots, and I was like, "Damn, he's dancing around it." Like you was right there. I'm like, "You dancing around it?" Facts. Yeah. So speaking of, speaking of people coming certain guys. So whenever I'm gonna switch sports for a while. Whenever we see a guy in the NBA that is tops in scoring, tops in efficiency, right? That normally really sticks out to us. But very often notice guy is also top 10 in defense. Yes, I feel notice that guy these days that often. Do you know which player in today's NBA is not only in top 10 in offense, but also top 10 in defense? He, nah, it's not Embiid. He's a guard, and I think he's gonna be very much revered as probably the next face of the NBA. He's never been in trouble, but he's had controversy like recently, but not actually in trouble. No, the boy in Minnesota. Yes. Well, this is good. Go ahead. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Lamelo, yeah, Lamelo. Didn't Lamelo go number one? Who went? Lamelo went number one, didn't he? Oh, did he? Okay. I thought Lamelo went number one still. Okay. See, I may have it backwards. Yeah, maybe I have. Yeah, because I only think Anthony Edwards was three and Lamelo was one, so I may have them confused. I may have them. Yeah, and they picked the pink man, but but they could have. Oh yeah, that's right. Anthony Edwards. Yeah. Yeah, they would have. Like, what you're saying isn't hard to imagine. It's a flashier, more athletic version of them with Sean Livingston. Well, they still would have though. Like Lamelo played see what I because I don't like to hear that people don't play deep. Like there's people that don't play defense, and then there's some people that aren't required to play defense, and so they won't. right? Or they won't give maximum effort on defense because LaMelo has good defense, and so I would think that if he goes to Golden State as a rookie, he wouldn't have the same lackadaisical, bad defensive bad habits. He would have developed, you know what I mean? Like, because I say the same thing about Carmelo Anthony. If he ever would have had a coach that emphasized defense, he would have been known as a better defensive player. But he always had coach. He had Mike D'Antoni and Don Wilson and guys that always thought offense. But it's not like Melo's defense sucked. He just wasn't chasing guys down like LeBron was from. You know what I mean? From 75, from 75% of the court down. You know what I mean? Like that wasn't him. Ooh. Who you talking about? Thank you very much. Or wait, Anthony or Melo? Hmm. I switched over to Carmelo Anthony. Like I said, weren't required. like I feel like if LaMelo Ball was drafted by Tom Thibodeau, yeah, he would have. He just doesn't right now. Okay, he doesn't play any defense. Detroit. Oh, as a point guard, it's been Detroit and Golden State. They were some of the two. Yeah, they were one of the two better defenders. Yeah, because Joe Dumars. Yeah. He was a small, but yeah, he was. Yeah, damn, dog. Every time I look up, every other time I look up, Tampa Bay puts up more points. Yo, I'm gonna really have there's so many weird. I'm sorry, we're gonna have to switch sports again. There's so many weird narratives that went into each game, right? Because even the Cleveland game, it was Cleveland versus Houston, right? Deshaun Watson's old team versus you know what I mean, versus the new quarterback that he has. What's that? What? How did he? He didn't even challenge that. It was yo. They're gonna have to put a little bit of respect on Todd Bowles' name, just a little bit, just a little bit. Well, because you know what happens? He was a Jets head coach. So because he was a Jets head coach, right, he becomes a punchline. And whatever punchline got stuck with him as the Jets, that's kind of the disrespect that I think because he didn't get a job for it, but even though he had the Jets playing well. Even though I don't know how to explain it. He wasn't the worst of them all, right? During his reign, he had a horrible general, and I think he was also there during the between the Geno Smith and the. But he's a defensive guy. Took him some time, and as a head coach, he was a bad head coach. Like he wasn't, and then you see what he can do, and then also like that also it is a real thing. Some people coach better, play better, operate better away from the bright lights where you're allowed to fuck in peace. In New York, when you play there, everything is so everything you do is so scrutinized that every little mistake is, oh, you gotta fire him, oh, you got him, and then it just becomes noise. And he only is only so long that you can tolerate that noise without winning. So that's why they say it's hard to rebuild it, because when you're not winning, it becomes a lot of negative noise. So yeah, I feel like he got that stigma. He got stunk up with that New York Jets thing, and that's where his disrespect comes from. I could be wrong. I feel like as a Jets fan, I can feel like I could take full blame that we probably stunk him up, and that's probably why his reputation is tarnished. Because this is him and Baker Mayfield. Like two guys, like this is two guys that generally don't get respected when your name comes up. Ooh, somebody's down for Philly. Did they score again? Oh, probably the extra point. Like shit. Sorry. Like this game is right now 32 to this game is 32 to 9. Oh, Sam Darnold was again another Jets quarterback. He sucked. That was another USC guy. Jesus, 32 to 9. I've been really looking at all of these. Listen, I've been I've been looking at all of these losses, and I'm gonna have to really look at these again. And I've been rating them as I've been going along, as who's been taking the worst loss, who had the worst beating, and this may be the worst. Like a lot of these losses were disappointing. Like because like what's that? Who? Listen, I understand that, but I mean, I mean, he played bad, but the extra meaning behind these losses, we got like 2 minutes. But can you understand? Like Dallas lost to a quarterback that knows it's their first time in the playoffs. Wait, so did Cleveland. Wait, hmm. Yeah, you're down to your fourth quarterback, and you're trying to win games with Joe Flacco. We got 1 minute. So somewhere between this Philly, somewhere between, and you realize all of the NFC favorites, not NFC favorite, but all of the NFC underdogs won. I mean, well, bottom record, the away team, or whatever they gotta call it. So Detroit played at home. Man, this has been one crazy. They call it the wild card for a reason, don't they? This has really been. Oh, and we just lost Chill Will. 'Cause that means it's officially the end of the show. Listen, how much time did I give you guys today? We got good time, man. We got like 2.5 hours worth of film, audio. I fucked up somewhere. I want to thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for showing up. I appreciate you always. We'll be back next week. We'll definitely run trivia. So I want to get these prices. I want to get these prizes out of here. I roll joints for no reason. But prepare for it. It's gonna be like holiday. People are in holiday mode. Maybe they're barbecuing. Yeah, I'll figure it out either. Because I haven't been here. Because I really haven't been here. It's my Monday out here since the new year started. But no, listen, no, I have not. But like I said, there were some people here early. Like when I was playing music, more people here. So before I started the show, kind of up out of nowhere, and they were sitting over there in that corner. Three tricks worth mentioning. Like there's been chicks in and out of here, but three chicks worth. I don't know. I think they just finished eating. Yeah, like they ate whatever they vibed out to the music for a little bit, and then there was a couple. There was a couple rows over here to some other chick that was over here. That's talking about. He instigated it too, but I'm just the guy in the corner doing the cast. Yeah, that was crazy because I didn't know exactly what was going on, but I felt like they could have. But listen, sometimes when you lose it, you lose it. Like I'm those who were like, listen, hey, you got somebody got to get roasted, they get roasted.